Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. We don't know it's your boy Butchers Gang here representing Free Sports TV. In studio on the panel tonight we got Black Star and Jigidan. We should be joined by a couple more whenever them get here. But what's going on? I got the Liverpool gang with me.
We're ready to play Manu, just to teach Manu 1 and 2 lessons, because they have been talking a lot and they haven't won any trophies. It's unbelievable that our one group of fans talk so much with no silverware to show for it.
Hey, funny you should say that. I heard some rumors floating in the air. I don't know how true it is. That Manu planning on selling the game to Leicester just to ensure that Liverpool have no starter hopes. Not whatever. I'm making it in the top 4.
Selling who?
Huh?
Selling the game to Leicester.
They're gonna be a no show up against Leicester to solidify the fact that Liverpool won't make it in the top 4.
Well, I saw it going on. Well, them still have Chelsea and Spurs to play. Leicester City.
1 second.
Oh, Black's gone. But yeah, we have a lot on the thing to discuss tonight. Not sure if we're gonna get into that supposedly Premier League 11 that Sky Sports posted. Hopefully we have time because we want to make this video a short video. And while we wait on the rest of the panel, we're gonna go straight to the German League. Basically we have a sum it up. I think Bayern gone with it now, right?
Yes, they did clinch it.
Some people were buying, yeah. And Farmers League as usual. I thought it was gonna be somewhat interesting to see somebody else dethrone them, like what we want to see in France. But any of you guys have anything to say about the German League?
There's nothing really to say about Germany. That's a 9 in a row for Bayern now. Yeah, that's 9 in a row for Bayern, and they just took the best young defender in Germany. They just signed him, and they just signed the best young coach in Germany. So there is just no stopping to this juggernaut of Bayern Munich in the Bundesliga. And it's sad because you see some teams trying to build something, but Dortmund is struggling to make the Champions League. If they don't make the Champions League, they're probably going to lose Sancho, here in Ireland. Even if they make it, they probably lose them anyway. But if they don't, they're definitely going to lose those players. So we're really into it with Leipzig losing Upamecano and possibly next year. And the coach gone, who's going to be the challenger for them for years to come, not just next year, but for years to come. There's just nothing at all stopping them. It is a farmers league, and sometimes when you talk about this Premier League, German like ownership and stuff like that, that is a very big drawback to that ownership model, because again, as we talk about it a bunch of time on this league, no one will go there and spend money, which is what is needed. You need somebody to inject some funds in one of these teams, and so that they can resist when somebody tries to take away their best players, because they don't need that money to prop them up and keep them going, so that they can challenge Bayern. Until that day happens, German League will continue to be a farmers league.
I think some of the clubs only need for 1 or 2 seasons to say no, right? A lot of Bundesliga clubs are not in a lot of debt because of how they manage their finances. I mean, so if Bayern come along and said, hey, we want 2 of your best defenders, delay it by a year or 2 and try to challenge the league, I mean, this is also up to management and what your goals are. Right? If you talk about Dortmund, I think 1 year Schalke sold their best 2 defenders to Bayern at once. Like, some of this decision making doesn't make any sense. right? Same thing with Leipzig. They're going to sell a couple of their defenders and their best players. 1 or 2 years, you have to say no and say, hey guys, let's go challenge for the league, right? It's something that you have to look at the ambition of the club and you kind of say, okay, Germany is set up this way when it comes down to finance with the fans having a say in how the club is run and XYZ and just blame that. We have to look at management and say, hey man, you have any ambition? You have ambition, do you want to go and make a meal of it? If you're close to Bayern 1 year, right? And Bayern looking at, which is what they do, you're close to Bayern 1 year, they're looking at your team and go out and buy one of the best players from the team so you can't be close to them the next year. Hold fast on that player for one more season, you know, and try to get the addition of a young players because it is a farmers league because the United States, the rest of Europe, England, they send the young players there, they develop them and they sell them back. That is what a farmers league is, right? So that's what they do, but Bayern keep poaching the best players. Somebody need to say no and try to actually go out there and make a meal of it, of the whole league. I mean, because to me, sometimes it's just ridiculous because 9 years, it's going to be almost a decade and the championship for the Bundesliga is a foregone conclusion.
Jiggy, over the years we've seen where like American owners and people from like the Middle East and stuff buy out some of these clubs. Why no one like steer in Germany direction?
Oh, because as I pointed out in an earlier statement that the way they have set up the finance for Bundesliga is that I think the fans own about 50% of the club, and I think they have a say in what you can do. So it's kind of hard if I had my own money and I wanted to go and buy a club in Germany, but the fans can also interject into the direction of the club. It's going to be hard for any investor to do something like that, you know, and that is what is preventing more foreigners or anyone who has enough money to because if you remember when German league started, it was they were non-profits. Football was non-profit. It was for the citizens, right? I think also in Germany, you see like how we have franchise Walmart, CVS, and all those things, right? You can't have that in Germany. Like you can't own like 2 pharmacy or 2 grocery store, and then somebody else have to own because so it's more of a social system, and it helps you to basically bring up the community. So Walmart can come in and just take over and have stores everywhere. So you can have your own set of pharmacy. Somebody else have their own set of pharmacy. So that's a social society where the fans have a say in the club. If you're a billionaire, you don't want to come in, put in all that money, put in all that investment, and then someone else has a say in your club, you know?
Cool. We're gonna move from Germany. That's enough time. We're way too much time. We shift gears to La Liga. Things are still interesting. Nothing has really changed from the last game week. Still up for grabs. Like nobody want this league.
Well, I wouldn't say nothing has changed because I actually would say a lot has changed. You know, going into last week, you had Barca playing Athletic, and that was a game where if Athletic had won, they basically were going to be marching towards the title. If Barca won, they would have conceded everything to Madrid, and if Madrid doesn't get to win out to go to the title. And if they draw, both of them were at a disadvantage. And the unexpected happened. Sevilla were able to get a draw against Real. And now Athletic is again now in the driver's seat, and they can then march to the title. If you look at it, Athletic need a win and a draw. That's all I need. 4 points, and they win the league. You know, they no longer control their destiny. The Barca has to be praying for Madrid and for Athletic to lose. So Athletic is in a very strong position now. They are no longer wondering and worrying about Barca and Madrid and everybody. They are just saying, I get 4 points and I have the title. That's all they're looking at right now. Not 4 points, 2 points. We know they get it. Not 4 points.
Yeah, the top 4 for La Liga is already set. So you have Atleti, Madrid, Real Madrid, Barcelona, and I think it's Sevilla. I'd have to look up. I think it's Sevilla.
It's Sevilla.
Barcelona had the opportunity to jump into first place by beating Atletico Madrid. Obviously, the game draw 0-0. And Real Madrid then had the opportunity when playing Sevilla and to go into first place, and they also drew the game. I mean, to me, the league was handed to Atleti, right? When Suarez went to Atleti, I didn't expect it to be this close, because at least, even though Diego Simeone is not your most creative offensive mind, Suarez does bring one of the top goal scorers, number 9, we have seen, right? And working with João Felix, that's what his name, the young Portuguese, right? And so many other top midfielders. You didn't expect it to be this close this year, because people are saying that Real Madrid is having a down year, Barcelona is having a down year. And I think the lack of offensive prowess or mindset by Diego Simeone is the one that caused the league even to be this close, right? But I think that at the end of the day, to get 4 points from 3 games, they should be able to do that, and close this out with a trophy, which is, I think the last time he won it was 7-8 years ago. I think Diego Simeone won it with Atleti a couple of years ago also. So I mean, personally, I think it's over. You're leading by 2 points. You have the best defense in the league. You should close out this league. I mean, personally, I would fire him if he doesn't harm Diego Simeone. I would get him out of here. It's rubbish,
And you'll be right, because listen to me. All right, well, they're not going to fire him anyway. I don't think Atleti is ever going to fire Diego Simeone. He's going to have to leave that club. But they did go through a collapse, and this league should not have been this close. They were over 10 points ahead with about 12 games to go, and they let everybody back in. But again, you know that they don't score goals, so that's always going to be a possibility. That if you don't score enough goals, and with Suarez having some injury issues, they just could not do it. I'm mistaken there. They don't need 4 points. They need 7 points to take the league. They need to get at least 2 wins and a draw to win the league. So basically,
hold on. The 20 teams, they play everybody 2 times. The 38 games and play.
Yeah, man.
And they play 35. Oh.
You said 4 points earlier. But anyway, on that note, we are going to take a next opinion and we'll forward on the panel. Shane himself. Yeah, we're La Liga roundup.
Oh, I like to get in, Lucas Torreira is going to win a title. I'm predicting that Atleti going to win. I'm glad he left Arsenal. Oh, Arsenal fans, just to let you know that Lucas Torreira is going to win a title, and probably that guy over by Villarreal, Coughlin, that's what his name is.
Yeah.
He's probably going to, because I'm pegging Villarreal to beat Man U too. So, what I'm saying? You just have, if you want a title, you just have to leave Arsenal, man. And let's put it out there. So, if you leave Arsenal, you just can't stay there and waste your time in 9th and 10th place, even though you win like a couple games. It's ridiculous.
Let's get the shit.
I mean,
Hope.
Let's see if both of them close it out. I mean, it still is a good year for me. I'm hoping still that Real Madrid pull it out. You know what I mean? Just for the simple fact that it will piss off a whole heap of people. that Zidane somehow win the league again. But again, the league is not the best league. In terms of quality, La Liga, in terms of consistency, nobody has been able to put themselves or distinguish themselves really. So it's still up in the air. It's still up in the air, and who knows where we go from here? I don't know. I'm not gonna predict. You understand? You look on. Should have been able to beat Sevilla. It would have been a tough game. We end up 2-2. And an idea. I have no clue where this started because I feel
just to clarify, are you saying that the league is not the best league because they're all bunched together? Is that what you said?
I'm saying the league is not the best league because there is nobody with real consistency that has put results. Or when they, like, for instance, Atleti, they had a couple of games where they could have distinguished themselves and draw away from the pack and then end up dropping points. Same thing, Barcelona was fouling up, them garner some consistency, and then Real Madrid beat them and then start drop points again. And I same thing with Real Madrid, Barcelona, and then if you guys then go on and start winning and then go and drop, I think it was like 2 draws back to back consecutively. Inexplicable, but then I have to give credit to Greg, as he did say, watch them go out and go do this. Give up the points and them beat Real Madrid, and so said, so done. So I don't know where this title goes.
Well, as I said, Athletic clearly has the advantage. They just need to win out now. The team that they're playing, I remember when I look at the team that they're playing, again, you can't even use that as a barometer anyway because they have been dropping points to these small teams. But they have Real Sociedad, Osasuna, and
Valladolid?
Yeah. Sorry about that.
Yeah, so
that's not a difficult picture.
So that is good. Again, this is just not Spain. Any given Sunday, aside can forward up and play some good football and get the best out of these teams. So I don't know.
If you look at Real Madrid, Spain, Granada, Athletic Club, and Villarreal, that to me is a more challenging.
What Barcelona have?
Barcelona, theirs wasn't bad either. Barcelona playing Levante, Celta Vigo, and Eibar. Again,
that's supposed to be
fairly straightforward, But looking at that, Real Madrid seem to have the more challenging fixture to run in, or the more tricky fixtures to run in. And somehow I believe Atletico, the fact that they avoided defeat against Barca should be enough for them to go and win. That's what I'm looking at. Just avoiding defeat should be enough to give them something to go ahead. Suarez like to bite these small teams. He's gonna bite them. El Cannibal is gonna do the work.
Is he back from injury?
Yeah, man, he's back. He played in the last game.
Okay.
All right, we're shifting gears again. We're gonna move over to the very interesting Serie A, where I don't know. Well, the title is already clinched, right?
Yes.
Poor race. Oh my word.
My word is right. My word is right.
Interesting. The big bad Juventus is looking. I don't know. They're playing on the barrel of the gun right now. I don't know what to say. But Jiggy, you take this one first.
Well, as I've said before, coaching is very important. And I remember when they were giving Pirlo the job, I said that I didn't agree with giving Pirlo the job. The fact is that Pirlo is one of the greatest midfielders that ever played football. And, in my opinion. But it does not mean that this type of midfielder or this player or great players translate to being a good coach, right? It's not a Zidane, right? And then with the politics that is involved with Juventus, for you to just take Pirlo and say, hey, you have never coached, never managed a team, not in a youth setup. Come in, right? Sarri just won the league, you know. I wanted to put this into context. Sarri won the league last year, right? And they got knocked out of the semifinals of the Champions League. I think they got knocked out of the semifinals or the quarterfinals of the Champions League, right? And that was not good enough for the ownership after someone who won the league and I think also won the Italian Cup. They brought in a younger coach for whatever reason, saying, okay, our goal is going to be the Champions League. They got knocked out earlier in the Champions League this year. And they also might not, with a team, and they made an addition to, right? With a team that finished first last year by a couple points and a team that made it a deep run into the championship. And in this year, you're on the cusp of not making the Champions League and being knocked out. Coaching is the issue, right? Because they have talent. If you look at the teams, the Atalanta, the AC Milan, Juventus up there with talent too, right? And the defense, but the defense wasn't fixed. So that's another thing too, right? So to me, the major issue is the blunder in hiring of Pirlo, an inexperienced coach, someone who has to also deal with the politics of Juventus and deal with coaching the team, a young coach. He wasn't ready for coaching at all, and that is the issue. It's talent where they are today. They need coaching to get it over the top. And he was just simply not good enough this year.
Well, you may be right on that, and but I look at a couple of things. Milan put a beat down on them. That 3-0 was
let's give Milan.
It was a big 3-0 because Italy, just like Spain, has the same thing where head-to-head matchups actually goes before goal difference. Juventus, I think, had beaten Milan earlier in the season 3-1, and now Milan beating them 3-0. Actually, now have the head-to-head tiebreaker. So that was big. Big was that Tomori from Chelsea. He scored, and that that may be if AC Milan make it to the Champions League, that may be what caused him to actually get him permanent move to AC Milan, because they will be able to afford him if they can play in Champions League. Another youngster that we all know from the Premier League, Brahim Diaz, he also scored in that game. So those are some names that we have been looking at over the years, and they scored. But Juve still have a chance, because even when you look at all of it, AC plays Atalanta on the last day of the season. And it could be a case where one of them knock out the other out of it, you know? So as much as we all look at it like this, Juve still are not out of it. They are 3 points behind both Milan and Atalanta. I think they have the tiebreaker against Atalanta. So
no, the game against Atalanta Blacks is Coppa Italia finals.
No, man. AC Milan and Atalanta plays the last game of the season in the league.
Oh, okay.
And both of them are only 3 points ahead of Juventus. So it may go into the last day where either of them the game, and that is enough to knock them out. And I have a feeling that's what's going to happen, and Atalanta is not going to make it, and Juve is going to sneak into the back door. It's just like the little rats that they are.
So basically, Juve control their own fate.
It's not so much they control it, but the fact that match is there, it's a big incentive for Juve to try win the next 2 games and bring it to the last game of the season, and I think that will be the decider right there. So we're looking forward to that game. Because it's a big game. What's going to happen?
Well,
Blacks, well, understand before you go. Give me your top 4 right now.
My top 4 in Italy?
Yeah.
Oh man. Oh, it's going to be Inter, AC, Napoli, and Juventus.
Or Zin?
Yeah, man. Atalanta, I think are going to suffer from it, and they are going to drop out. Okay, as much as they're in second right now. If you look at their schedule, you would see that when you look at their schedule, I believe Atalanta is the one who's going to be the odd man.
Lazio have a game in hand on Sunday.
Yeah, but I don't think they can catch the other teams.
Okay.
I don't think they'll catch the other teams.
See,
All right, shit, go ahead.
with the project with you think I'm bringing Ronaldo, the objective was always to win the Champions League. You know, it's like a PSG situation where even when you win the league so much times back to back. You know, what I mean that the objective again to be that stage, I win the league. And while you can, I mean, again, I feel like Pirlo is like collateral damage, but they seriously have to figure out them team. They really have to figure out their business model, right? So the business model was to like to get players forward into the end of their contract, forward into the end of their contract, and kind of pick them up and give them money without paying a transfer fee. So the midfield, it's not a cohesive midfield at all. You know, creative. You understand? You have people like so you have Ramsey there, you have Weston McKinney, you have the Colombian midfielder there. I forget the name. But you have a whole heap of players. You have Rabio. I just don't think their midfield work. They need to work at that. They need to think if they go keep Ronaldo or they go move on. You have the baller there. If they don't really use him, that's an issue too. It's an issue with Pirlo. Like, why you not use the baller? When your team is rubbish, right? When your team not creating enough and not scoring enough goals. It really not making any sense to me. So again, Pirlo for me is collateral damage. But the team itself, if you look into itself and see how they go develop, they're bringing some good views. I like Colosset here, right? And Maria, the next kid, Chiesa, Federico Chiesa, they're good players there. You understand what I mean? But what you need now is a visionary. You need a coach that can really bring them through and play a good football. You need to sort out that midfield. In terms of the Serie A up on a whole, but I love to see Milan in our Champions League. I think they go make it. They have good players. We talk about the Premier League ex-young players. When our next player, them who wouldn't really talk about, but who do know him is Ishmael Benassa. He's a player who go in a forward 2 hours now, and then them sell him. And he's a lovely player, really technically gifted Algerian midfielder. He forward back. Anytime he forward back, I play with Sean Naglo and Ante Rebic. Them play lovely for Milan. So I think Milan will make it, and the other two, I don't know. I think Atalanta will make it too. So I think it's one between Napoli and Juventus. I'm not sure. I don't trust Juventus to win any game right now. They don't create enough, and every goal they score seems is also individual brilliance. I think one more thing. I think Ronaldo slow down and him to bring that side on his own. He do need help. So I really do think that they have to think about if they want to allocate that much cash or wages week in, week out for Ronaldo alone. And they might think twice and say, maybe we need to move on from this whole Ronaldo thing. I'm not sure. Go ahead.
All right. I'm glad I bring up wages because that's a question I was gonna ask you about, right? 2 questions real fast. You pick which one out of the 5 now gonna make the top 4, and why you think it hasn't worked out for your ball Ramsey.
All right. So
Real quick.
So as you say, one of 54 out of 5. So Inter, I think Atalanta go stay there. I think Milan go stay there. I think Napoli go drop out, or Juventus we end up making it. That's what I think.
Okay, slightly different from Blacks. Okay, why not work out for Ramsey now? Real quick.
Because I'm injury record. Because it's difficult for him. If he stay fit, week in, week out. And again, at a club like that, you need and a player like Ramsey, you need a certain system to take advantage of him, right? You need a certain light of room and play the certain role what I want to. And I don't think that you would ever get that in a team with Ronaldo and these talented players. So again, and again, there's been time in play very good. I keep getting an echo, I don't know why.
Yeah, I'm getting it also.
Yeah, but I don't know. Yeah. So he has been good for them at time, you know what I mean, and he has scored important goals to them. But an idea because he can't consistently play over a prolonged period, it hasn't worked out for him. I think this could be in career, you know, in terms of him not being able to be fit enough over a long time to put consistent good games together. You know, it just is what it is. You know.
All right, well said. Shifting gears again, you know, we're not itch tonight, you know. Now we're gonna talk about the Premier League.
I thought you were going to League One before.
Oh, we forget about that. League One, League One. You sure? Because more. Yeah, let's do League One. Let's do League One.
Shane, tell us that Lille is gonna win this thing.
I think they are, aren't they? Right. So idiot PSG go draw with Rennes this weekend, right? And again, it point to how incredibly. It point to how much they depend on Mbappe, right? Because since Mbappe has been out, really, he hasn't been able to really put results together, and it's been alarming to me. Because I was thinking to myself, like, even if Mbappe did it, they should be able to close these games out. And you go draw 1-1 with Rennes, where you chase a title after you just get eliminated out of Champions League. That was the only person who was missing, right? So it's embarrassing, really. It really is embarrassing. He can't really put himself together. Neymar signed a new 5-year contract. I thought that was interesting. Basically keeping him at PSG. You know what I mean? And I think that was one of the things where the agent will look around and say, there's no way he can go find or get the money anywhere else, or nobody else have the money to buy him. So therefore, I'm just going to secure the bag, like the young kids them say, right? At PSG. But it's just not good enough for PSG. I gotta be honest. Not good enough at all. So Lille win again, and again 2 more games, and they should have it. They have to give them massive credit. A bunch of mistakes. I couldn't be more happier for them. I gotta be honest.
Well, Lille just need a win and a draw from the last 2 games. To win the league. You know, I remember I was putting on some notes for the show, and the question I asked, what about Koch? Will he get fired after all of this? Yeah.
So that's fascinating. I don't think he'll get fired, but people will be looking at him sideways, and depending on how they start next year, you know what I mean? Because again, them did allocate and make a big effort in trying to get him there. So it will be really weird. And plus, there's not like a coach out here where everybody have broke their neck to sign, right? I think that all like big coach them already is at them clubs. You know, if it was a Nagelsmann already, they were in there. So therefore, I think that it just an idea then go start at the season next season. See how we do. You know what I mean? Give him the tools that him want and see how we are.
Saying that though, remember there is one big coach who they are saying is angling right now. Zidane is not settled at real. Yeah, he is not settled. And again, really is going to be a project for the next couple of years. They don't have the Galacticos and they can't go out and buy the Galacticos right now. You know, people like Vinicius and the other young Brazilian, they haven't kicked on as what they have expected by now. What are they going to do? Are they going to get impatient with them and sell them and try to, bring in a name?
No, because what if, which is really possible, what if Real Madrid just end up and win the title? Then you'll stop and then?
But Zidane, one thing about Zidane, man, he's very good at looking ahead. When he took the break a couple of years ago, he saw that the team was in decline. He took that break. He decided, I don't want to be here for this. He came back 18 months later or whatever it was. But again, looking at Real Madrid and look at the horizon, you're thinking that something is not going on good with them right now. So PSG, Zidane could be a coach that is available. Who knows? You know, and that would be a team that he probably would like to coach, and he would actually coach to something. You know, Zidane, Neymar, and Mbappe to play with, plus the resources of PSG. He can, you know, he knows how to coach super teams. He knows how to manage superstars. And there are people who have a lot of respect for him, and a lot of this privilege because PSG, their problem is indiscipline. It's indiscipline in every aspect. You know, it's indiscipline why they are better than what they are, in my opinion. So, Zidane going in, I think he could be a person who turn it around. Your mic,
Jiggy, put your mic on mute when you're not. Because I think it might be coming from you.
It's a lot
All
of
right.
feedback.
Yeah. I think it was coming from Jiggy. Coming here again. I don't know what he's playing in the background. Anyhow, go ahead, moderator.
No, I'm not. Yeah, that was basically Jiggy. Anything you want to touch on? Friends League.
Hey, listen, we got to fire Pochettino like today. Like, don't even wait because they lost the league, bro. We got to get him out of here. You know what I'm saying? But I would point to this. If you look at Lille, right? PSG, bigger team, more finances, all the stars. I will correlate that what I was saying about the Bundesliga. You need to hold on to those players for an extra year before trying to sell them everybody to Bayern. So you can go out and try to win a league 1 year, then you sell the players. But sometimes we have seen over the last 9 years that Bayern has, like a team will be close, and Bayern come in and say, oh, I want your 2 best players, and they sell them right away. Like, no, you can wait. You can wait an extra year and say, hey, let's go at it 1 more year and try and go win a title instead of just, oh, you want our 2 best players? Give us 80 million. Here you go. That to me, that's just like shameful. You know, so we can't continue blaming the system at Bundesliga. Say this is the reason Bayern has so much money. People have done this type of stuff before. It can be done.
Jiggy, so the only thing about your argument with that with Bayern, there's 2 parts about it. One, in Germany, unlike in the Premier League, there's release clauses. And Bayern has the money to activate these release clauses. Like Upamecano, they activate his release clause. Anybody could have activated it. They did. 2, Bayern is a German league and also the French league to some extent are single destination leagues where basically everybody is going up towards that one team. So a player do 2 things. You say hold on. When they hold on on Lewandowski, what happened? He went on a free. Multiple players, when the teams didn't sell, when Bayern wanted them, the player just say, you know what, no problem. I'll run down my contract and I'll go for free. That's a problem that they have there with the single destination league situation, where unlike the Premier League, one fixed destination, there's only one in Germany and there's only one in France.
My argument was not to hold him and run down the contract. I said my argument that if you run close to Bayern 1 year, Bayern typically buys your best player, so you can't run close to them next year. I'm saying to see if you can hold on to players just 1 more year to see if you can go at them. I'm not saying that to run down anybody's contract, you know what I'm saying? But I'm like, we have to say, what are you here for? Is it only to make money? You know, there's things that teams can do. You know, there's things that teams can do. You get a good coach, you keep a good player for extra year, and then they go where they want to go. You know, you can sell to a player, hey, let's get Leipzig. I don't know if they ever won a championship. Say, hey, hold on, guys. Let's go at it 1 more year. Give me 1 more year. Then you can go wherever you want to go. Real Madrid, you want to go Bayern. The managers, people can talk to players. Players have these kind of, I think so.
That's, well, it's in different. It's different in every case, right? It's different in every case. Like when Monaco when they win them championship, right? They couldn't tell Mbappe if he stay. It was so good. That everybody in Europe they want a player like him.
Shane, they won the championship though, Shane.
Hold on, yeah, and that's what Leo's gonna do. Just hold on a second, bro. And then you look on Bernardo Silva, Pep Guardiola forward in field. What is he gonna say? No, you know, Gas City, right? That's how it goes. In this little team, I'm not sure that there'll be a lot of individuals forward in free. Most of them players. I think two of them midfielder, the kid Samari and Renato Sanchez. It'll be interesting to see his next move. You know what I mean? A player who have bounced around Europe, and it's fascinating because it really seemed like in career ain't going nowhere, but now he find a home. And again, the vultures will be circling, as David has said. The vultures will be circling again. You know what I mean? To try to see if they can sign him. So they have some good player. You know what I mean? Jonathan Akoni. You know what I mean, and so forth. We have some good, interesting prospects, but they're not like the overwhelming Bernardo Silva, Mbappe, you know what I mean, Lewandowski's era when they were there. So I think Leo will be able to probably keep some of them players, you know what I mean, because there is not an outstanding, you know what I mean, surefire individual and then team. You put them in our side and then we put aside over the top. You know, I don't think PSG, for example, would be interested in any of them players at this point. So, like I said, it's a case by case basis with these teams.
All right. Quick question. France get 3 spots or 4 spots in the Champions League.
I think you'll find it's 3.
3. So I think it's interesting then, man. Monaco and Lyon. 74 and 73 points. So yeah, that should be interesting. Come on, never know that close.
Yeah, but, it's been a close fight. You know, I mean, I know it's a one team league, but it's been you know.
Jiggy disagree. You can't tell that. Jiggy disagree.
I'm fine right now. I'm not doing that right now. But yeah, Lyon and Monaco. I'm want Monaco to make, you know what I mean? Because my favorite player ever is Cesc Fabregas, and he play for Monaco. He's been playing lovely stuff for them too. So I want them to make it. You know what I mean? Therefore, yeah, I have a bias. And again, I think that with Lyon, can go lose a whole heap of players again too this season. I think Lyon will lose more players than the eventual winner in a Lyon. You know what I mean? Because Depay ain't staying there, right?
Well, Depay is free agent, right?
Free agent, right? Yeah. And a few others on them team.
Them not a link Depay to Barca because Koeman.
Because of them coach.
Yeah.
So yeah, and them they have 2 strikers who should be interesting to any Premier League teams who look for a striker. You know what I mean? Them should be looking at the 2 strikers them will play for Lyon. But what do I know? Next question.
Me see a link Basuma to Arsenal every Friday. What go on with that?
Because I think he's great. That's why. I think that I kind of
he's French.
I don't know. He's African, or I don't know what he is. I mean, it don't matter to me. If he could be. I don't care what he is. I just think
French.
Who's that? Basuma from Brighton?
Yes, Basuma from Brighton. You know, this morning the rumor when we see Greg link Eduardo Camavinga to France. That had
him.
That had me like, whoa! If that happened now, honestly, I would have to give Stan Kroenke massive credit. I mean, but
well, that young man had chances to move last year, and the thought process was that he's waiting for Real Madrid.
Yeah,
that was what they were saying last year. He was waiting for Real Madrid. Why would he go to Arsenal this year after waiting for Real Madrid?
Because it's a better because if you go to Arsenal and you play football,
it's a stepping stone.
Well, most clubs is a stepping stone to Real Madrid. I wouldn't find that as a disrespect, but yeah, I think that in feel like say you can fall to Premier League and advertise itself and play lovely stuff. Arsenal is way a better platform than Rennes, aren't they? So yeah, man. I think
that's true.
Yeah. So I just feel like he's an exciting player. lovely, classy player, left-footed midfielder, deep. I mean, again, it's a left-footed Paul Pogba, but really, 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 really a good passer ball. Silky, really good. He would be, again, a next, not a Rolls Royce, but close to it. He's really good, and he's so young too. Exciting.
Jiggy.
Bro, Jiggy, Paul Pogba is a Rolls Royce. What is Paul?
No, before that, but Jiggy, your team midfield need an overhaul. Why aren't Liverpool being linked to that player? Because like I've not heard anything at all about it.
Bro, come on, man. We have Milner, bro. Stop joking, man. Milner starts first.
It's interesting. Again, it's gonna be interesting to see what Liverpool do this half season. With the Milner era, need a overhaul with the Milner era, with the Axel Chamberlain, who again and Dutch midfielder will go left.
Gene is leaving.
Why not have gone? I already put himself.
So
why not have walked away because.
So how do you make that over? It'd be interesting when you shop in a weird way where you try to get bargain, in your signing. To be interesting. But again, we have our summer to look on it. Go ahead.
No, I looked at it and I thought he would have been the profile of what Liverpool would want to buy, that player, because again, 17-year-old going 18 years old, still have upside, still have sell-on value, because our team likes sell-on value and all those stuff. So, and plus he's playing a team which is not in the Champions League at the moment, so even if Liverpool is in or not in, it's regardless of what, Liverpool is going to be a massive step up for him anyway. Regardless of what, but it's not right now. He's not gonna say, "Oh, I'm playing Champions League," and no, I'm gonna not. Those little things don't get in the conversation. I'm personally, I think that's a player that Liverpool should be looking to build their midfield around for the next 5-6 years coming on.
Liverpool's a step up team, but he already played for France in a big competitive game against big teams and run the midfield. Like this talent is not no joke, right? So. Again, the only thing is Real Madrid just now go get fee buy him because they now go have the money.
They ain't got no money.
They ain't got no money. So
a little bit of money right now.
Liverpool is going to look at those. Liverpool is going to look at Fulham, West Brom, Sheffield, and then we'll look and see who. Now, this is what they're going to do. This is what Liverpool does. They're going to go in and pay 20 or 30 million or 40 for one of these defensive midfielders to come and play for Liverpool. That's what they're going to do. Because they won't go out and spend $80 million on no midfielder, bro. Right? They won't do it. So they're going to look in the championship or they're going to look for someone, that's like how they get that guy, that Turkish defender from all the way in the lower leagues of Bundesliga and pay about 2.5 million. That is what Liverpool, I guarantee you, they're going to get two players we never heard of, just like the Jota deal. Nobody saw Jota. But when you look at Jota, say, oh, he scored 16 fouls, who don't even create half the chance. They said, oh, we've been watching him for years. That's what Liverpool is going to do. Nobody never know. He did assign two players.
It's the Moneyball theory, right? It's the Moneyball theory. But when you compete at the top, you will get hits and you will get misses. What's the left back on the side? I think it's a Greek left back. Well, we don't really see him.
No, that Klopp hasn't played him.
Yeah,
just like how he hasn't. Yes, whatever. Just like how what's that guy, the young guy he was playing all season, and he made a mistake in the Crystal Palace game, and we haven't seen him since. Again, right? He plays Milner or anybody else except him. Because he never run back.
But overall, when we end up segue into Premier League and start talking about Premier League.
I know.
That's what I'm just going to say.
But let's just talk about Liverpool's performance then.
Liverpool performance?
Oh, we're going straight to Liverpool?
Yeah, why not? We already talked about half of what they did.
Round of applause. Hey, this week was a week of first. Thiago got his first goal for Liverpool.
But not just him. Willian get his first goal for Arsenal too. See, act like say it's only one. It's both of them have the first league goal for.
First.
But anyway, get to the game. Blacks, what are your thoughts on the game? 2-0 comfortable.
Comfortable. Like personally, I don't even care about the individual games. All I look at it is that we need 4 wins to be in the Champions League. I remember telling David before the West Ham game played, David posted some talking some crap about Liverpool making the Champions League, and I said, David, that is foolishness. That's not happening. But West Ham did leave the door open, and unless Manchester United decide to sell it to Leicester, which they're called Red Devils, and they're called Devils for a reason. So they will sell it to. You can't expect anything from them. But if Liverpool win 4 games, we're going to be in the Champions League. Yeah, I think it's simple as that. Because of Chelsea have to play Leicester and Tottenham and Arsenal, and Leicester has to play Chelsea and United and so forth. With all of that competition, what's going to happen? Liverpool have a straightforward play, win 4 games, and they're in the Champions League. Chelsea have 6 games before the end of the season. Not the end of the season. In the next 20 days, they have 6 games. Manchester United alone have 3 games in this week. So from those perspectives, I have a feeling that Liverpool does have a chance, but as Buju was saying earlier on, United probably will sell the game to Leicester just to keep Liverpool out of the Champions League.
All right. So win a game and you're in business, Liverpool. Okay. Should we discuss the Liverpool game? Do you have anything else to go the game? 15 games tonight, bro. All right. Like how Liverpool out of the top 4, we are going to forward a Man U blogger to the stream. Now, Mr. Dixon. What you have to say about that?
One thing about Liverpool game. I think that Mane and Salah have some kind of beef going on, where like them really. Sometimes you see them play, and it's really something going on between them. Where there was 2 times in the first half where they pass the ball like score to each other, and they selfishly go. So I don't know, man. I feel like one of them have to move on.
Well, Shane, I agree with you 100%, but also there is a beef. Salah make twice the money what Mane makes at Liverpool. If I was Mane, I would have had a beef with him too. With everybody at Liverpool. I think that has been a big issue. Mane's salary being half of what Van Dijk, Salah, Alisson, Henderson, all of those guys make. Mane makes half their salary.
And I feel like Salah thinks that he's like bigger than the club too, in a sense that you feel like say he my man. You understand what I mean? Because some of the decision them I make, it's not for your team really. Really do seem selfish. You know what I mean? Some of the times, and Mane reciprocates that. So it's weird that that's going on. But we see that what in a game where both of them had chances to pass and score the easier goal, and they end up going themselves and mess it up. It might be racism.
The assist that Salah had to Mane was the first assist they had to each other for the entire season. That was the only one so far in the Premier League for the 2021 season.
That is crazy. That is a phenomenal shot.
Ridiculous.
Yeah.
Well, 2 things. Salah is responsible for his salary. I mean, Salah and Mane. Mane signed an extension. Mane should have asked for more money or moved on, So when a grown man, it could be, honestly, because when you look at what's asked of Mane does a lot of defensive work. And Salah is asked to come to the half line. And yes, I mean, we are grown men, but salary can play an issue where you're scoring a little more than me, but at the same time, what I'm asked to do, you're not asked to do. So maybe if I could just come to the half line, chill there, on the fullback until it's time to run after the ball, maybe I'd be scoring more goals and I wouldn't be exhausted at the end of the game. Right? So people do have these type of angst in teams. And we have seen it for many years. Last year, he had taken off Mane, who was having a brilliant game. I think he scored twice. I left Salah on the field and he went off and clap, right? And all these things. So we have seen that this type of rivalry before. And I'm sure one of them would want to move on. But I would just go back and say that, listen, Liverpool is going to buy a couple of players and we won't know where they come from, except their championship or our players who are going out. I'm telling you, I see it. We haven't heard any rumors about Liverpool, and that's what they will do, you know?
Yep, Mike.
I'm sorry, just one more thing. The problem is for Liverpool, you can't really sell them and get the money, especially Salah. There's not the buyers out there to buy him, you know, with what they would expect to get for him, right? So Salah in a theme little mind, he wants to go play for Real Madrid or Barcelona. They don't have that money. You know, Pep Guardiola now go buy you, and I don't think Chelsea go buy you. So where are you going? Like, where are you really going, right?
Well, I think the only scenario is a domino effect. For Salah to move, it's gonna be like I could see PSG if Mbappe move on, they say, you know what, we want to bring a name in and we want, you know, and his one would be available that they can bring in, and he's gonna score goal. If he goes over there, he will score goals.
That's a fair point.
You know, so I think for Salah and for Liverpool, it's gonna be a domino effect. But you know, not just me, but a lot of people have been saying it. The front three need to break up. They need to get rid of one of them. All three of them should not be there next year. We shouldn't be relying on them next year. We should find a way to break them up. You know, maybe you're gonna flip them for two young players, but they should break that front three up and refresh the team, because that's what the team needs. It needs to be refreshed, and it needs to be refreshed with youth also. And I just don't see Klopp doing it because he's just a guy who believes that he can squeeze a little bit more out of those players. So I think we're in for a very tough season next year. Not mean that we're gonna be suffering like we're suffering this year, but it's gonna be a hard one because I don't see us doing a lot of changes. We're gonna be seeing Axe and Shaqiri on the bench just the same way. As we are seeing them this year.
All right, Blacks. Enough about Liverpool.
Okay.
Pops has been waiting because. All right, before we get to Pops, let's bring on the sports whiz.
Oh, we can have 6 people now. What? Okay.
Yeah. We're gonna get to the United game. As usual, Man U have to rub somebody. Yeah, Man U. What, you want to talk something about Liverpool?
No, don't bring me out a Man U game that kick me off back.
Anyways, Pops, your team win. Good second half performance, but again, I thought the referee them are in our favor, you know. But what are your thoughts on the game?
You need to explain that, sir. Oh, the referee in our favor. You need to explain that.
I'm pretty sure everybody on here saw that handball. Before on the score at the other end. Do we really want to dispute that?
You see, we have took some tough calls since season, and we can just give credit, man.
Lies.
Give credit. I mean, I'm not saying it's not a penalty, but I mean, you see, at the end of the day, we are in Champions League position. I mean, the first time since Sir Alex Ferguson left, we would have made the top 4 2 years in a row, which is, I mean, is that we have become an Arsenal. We become Arsenal fighting for a top 4 trophy, not to win the league, but just to be in the top 4. To be in the top 4, but I mean, it was a good second half performance. I think the second half was way better than the first half. And Cavani again, thanks. We signed an extension with him, but I think we still need to go and get Sancho. To me, I always want Sancho at the club, and I mean I know some people will disagree, but I think with extension and Mason is finding form at the right time, in which I think, as I said, I said it a few weeks before that. I think Mason should be in the Euros. If Arsenal dance, I can be in it. I don't see why Mason can't be in it. That's Lingard I'm talking. If Lingard can be in the in England squad, I think Mason should be in it. But I mean, we still have a far way to go. Our captain is injured. Maybe it's a blessing in disguise.
You know what's funny? Jadon Sancho probably miss out on the Euro for Lingard. You know, that's the funny thing.
Yeah, that is true. That is true. Well, I saw rumors today that Man U wants to get him before Euros. I don't know. You know, these papers just bring any crap to the game. Bring any crap. But again, we getting goals. We're getting goals. We're still conceding goals. But the best comeback team for the year so far, over 10 times. We were down and we came back to win, which is something. And again, all still have the on the road Premier League unbeaten for over a year.
With the help of the referee. Let's get that.
How much trophy you get? How much trophy all you go now?
We have not got any trophies yet.
Arsenal won FA Cup.
Arsenal
won FA Cup, right?
We're in a final.
Pick up your week.
At least he took us one step further to a final. We have lost a lot of semi-finals.
But Arsenal win FA Cup and the fans are not behaving like this.
I'm not celebrating anything. I'm not celebrating anything, Jiggy. But the fact is, as I said, at least for the second year straight, he made the top four, which is not something. And I believe if Hull wasn't that stubborn, would have been given Man City a better fight. Or at least it would be a closer fight at this stage. Because I believe some of the games that he should have pushed to get the 3 points, he's settled for one. That's for me. So I believe if you have gone like a Chelsea game, an Arsenal game, those games he could have gone to get the 3 points. He was playing more not to lose than to win. And widen the gap until realize.
That's what you get on the job training. Blacks, you employ, Pastor, you employ people before. That's what you get with on the job training. You know, it's trial and error, right?
Yeah.
Constantly have to remind people, and you know, it's like a hamster with a wheel. It's just keep turning, and you know, let's see where we go. I think this team have real quality tonight, so I think we will end up winning the Europa League. You understand what I mean? I think again, because it's so much quality. You know, Pogba has been good for us since he fought back. I know some Man United fans don't even like repeating that, but he's been good for them. We win on a penalty if he getting up on the way. And again, he's been really good. So again, when I have players there who should be winning things and challenging, it's not like the biggest thing that in a qualify for Champions League. And if you qualify again and drop out in that first leg, again, what are you there for, right? What are you there for? Are you there to compete? Or are you there for say, oh yeah, I was in the top four, you know? So we'll see how it goes. NI season. Let's see if we can get. I wouldn't sign Sancho at this juncture. I don't think it's what you need. A good player, a very, very good player, we know. But I just don't think it's what you need right now. You know, I think you have midfield need. You need a number 6, right? And I think that you might need a striker. I'll do as I will talk about this today on the blog. You have Cavani for one more year. You probably do need a striker for foreseeable future. You know what I mean? Club. You know, so that's what I would be looking for, not a next winger like Sancho. Go ahead, Greg.
All right. So in terms of strikers, what do you think they're gonna do with Martial then? Because remember, they still have him on their books. When fit, he tends to get game. I mean, he's preferred even over Cavani when he's fit.
But
You know.
I always said it that I don't think that he have the movement to be a striker. I think
Well,
the more
He's not, bro.
I don't think he's a striker
He
at all.
thinks
Greg.
he is, and he tried to convince them that this is where I want to play.
I don't care.
Well, there are
I think he's a striker too. Can put him up enough. I
yeah.
just don't see. You see movement. So, all right, look on the goal what Edson Cavani score. Right, you see movement.
Come on,
No. But I think that kind of movement is needed, and you can see smartness. Like I could see somebody learning that kind of stuff. I don't see Martial as that player at all.
I think we can try Mason there.
Perhaps you get a 10 minutes.
That would be Mason.
Yeah.
Oh no, sorry. Perhaps you get a 10 minutes. You know. Give me
I was just saying something to Shane. Oh, okay, Mr. Wiss.
No, me go get to Mason. So you have Martial that wants to play there. Rashford can play there at times. Mason, you're grooming Mason to be your future number 9. And you still have Cavani. I think they're good as strikers. I think there's, like I said, they do need a number 6. But I think the reason why you're saying not Sancho right now, Shane, is because of his numbers this season. But if you look at it, he was injured a good part of the season. He only played 24 games. And he's still averaging what? Either 8 and 9 or 9 and 9. It's still good.
Yeah.
Greg, you know?
So give me a chance to respond. No, it's not about the numbers. I think he's a very good player. I just think that it's about need, right? Because I don't think they can go. Like I don't think they can go and sign 3 players. So I think they'll end up signing like 2. You may say if you need 2 players, why go out and get somebody where I don't think you need that sort of player? Because what going to happen is you get Sancho and now you have to play, and that probably stunt the growth of Mason Greenwood because that's a Mason go to play, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I love what Messi out of Mason Greenwood. I think he can give you production from players playing as an inverted winger and in a like cup games to put him up if he plays striker. But that I think that is fine. And then they give goals and then they perform in a big game. So then why bring in somebody for close to 100 million when again what you need is to solidify your midfield and to get a prolific striker if you can get that. That's difficult. You understand? I was saying get somebody like Icardi. You understand what I mean? But I don't know, man. I don't know.
You may be onto something there, Icardi. But quick question.
Tell me why you say. Tell me why you don't like Icardi.
You pumped up space a while ago.
I know.
Before you comment, Shane, quickly, would you say Sancho would probably fit Liverpool better than?
100%. He'll score like 40 goals for Liverpool. But again, it's about needs, right?
No, because earlier I'm here, Blacks are say, he would have get rid of at least 2 of the front 3 or even all 3 of them. So, if you're going to do that, which Salah has been linked to PSG and
well,
I don't remember who else.
PSG only if Mbappe leaves. I miss Chelsea recently conversation to Real Madrid and Barca don't have the money.
Chelsea and PSG. So
Chelsea and PSG.
Then you could bring in Sancho.
But personally, you're right. Sancho, regardless of what happened, Liverpool, I believe, should be in the market for Sancho. We need that player to challenge the front 3. The problem we have, even with Jota forward in the team and playing good, he doesn't come in with a reputation that challenge Mane or Salah's game. So really and truly, Klopp can push him around because his reputation doesn't challenge him. If Liverpool doesn't get somebody out there whose reputation challenge Mane and Salah, make him say, when you sit on the bench, somebody's out there who will perform, right? You won't get better out of them. And plus, I think you need to break them up anyway. Icardi, we go back to I've seen him in a few games this year. He just does not cut it to me as a real top level center forward. I think he's a few rungs down. His movement, you talk about movement, and I don't see he doesn't have the movement in my view. He doesn't move. Huh?
Exactly as I was about to say. If you talk, if Shane go talk about movements and Cavani and Martial,
And Cardi
he
just
can't
doesn't
put
have
Martial
it.
in the picture.
All right.
You know, he's just not there.
Well, Shane, before you respond to them, come on, not everybody have the movement of Cavani as a striker. Right?
But that's what Shane was
Cavani
talking
is
about.
probably the best mover in the world right now as a striker. Not even Lewandowski don't move like how Cavani
Greg,
moves. The runs with Cavani make.
Greg, and I'm not saying no, but that's what I'm saying. But I just look at Mario Icardi and I've watched him a few. I think I watched at least 3 games when we watched them this year that he played in.
I think he got lazy at PSG.
He's down. So if Manchester United is looking for a centre forward, I don't think he's the answer. Before that, go buy Danny Ings. Because Ings to me is better than Icardi.
Stop.
No. We're not gonna have that discussion.
I say one more thing.
No, facts. If he doesn't get injured, facts.
Listen, Jiggy, make Shane talk. Make Shane
That's that because Jiggy back Brazil, and we know that. That's a fact. Go ahead, Shane.
It is difficult for you, if you are Icardi, to play alongside Mbappe and Neymar. You understand? To find your way in that squad. You know who struggled to play beside Mbappe and Neymar too? Cavani. You know, it's difficult to play alongside both of them. You understand? I mean, if you go ahead and sign somebody like Icardi, he's a goal poacher. He's in an individual way. Again, you know, have the sort of movement where you find with fine with a Cavani, but he is an individual who is really intelligent around the 6-yard box, tapping stuff like that. You understand what I mean? That innate ability to find and score goals. It would be a lovely signing. You can't just look power and see a PSG, because if you look on that, then you're not going to sign him. You understand what I mean? But I'm telling you, he's a goal scorer, and this is what we need. You know, you have the Rashford who can play off a wing and all of these things. You need a goal poacher. You need somebody in and around the 6-yard box. It would be a good signing. If you think that he's not the person, it's fine. You know, you can go to look on Laturo, Martinez, somebody like that. It's strikers out there. I don't have all the answers, but I think that we're happy to find a number 9. You know?
We never said you have all the answers, sir. We never said that. We were not suggesting that in no way, shape, or form.
See somebody said get Kane.
Shatta say Kane. Yeah, Shatta say Harry Kane.
Yes.
You
see, it's funny because when I have this discussion today, I said the problem with Kane is because he get injured so much, I wouldn't sign him, especially with his type of money and wages they would have to allocate to sign him. I just think that you'd go younger. That's all.
All right, enough time for Manu. Sir.
No, one more thing. But you talk about areas where they need Shane. What about centre back? You don't think they need a centre back? I think they need a centre back. Trust me. Because you see Manu fans from the group cry every day about McCoy and Lindelof.
Especially Lindelof.
And even though them signed back by, I don't even know why he signed back, because he not get no playing time. You know? I don't know if Phil Jones is gonna
get it off here.
Transfer his inner village pretty soon. You know? Shatta say Varane. Varane is a good shout.
And he's probably available.
Because Varane wanna leave Real right now. He seems like he's won everything and he's bored right now.
I think that there are rumors linking him to Man U. I don't know.
Who, Varane?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So they may somebody talk about Kimpembe, but me wouldn't take 50 cents and buy Kimpembe after the Champions League performances. He's gonna get killed in the Premier League if he come there.
I even saw a paper that Zidane gave him his blessings. I don't know.
All right.
But Ramos is a free agent. Why don't y'all go out and get him?
Really?
I think Blacks is taking the piss, but anyway.
Ramos will go like Juventus or Bayern or one of them teams.
He's free.
All right.
Yeah, but come on.
We're gonna move on from Manchester United. Enough.
But before you leave from Manchester United, though, the one thing that I want to say is that their top 4 position is secured, but because of the games they have between Liverpool and Leicester, they can be kingmakers. and they can decide who makes it into the top four by which team they put out against Leicester and which team they put out against Liverpool. You know,
So,
they will be kingmakers in this top four race.
So you're really worried about Manchester United selling Leicester the game?
I'm really worried about no, but they are in the position. You know, how are they gonna look at it? Are they gonna try to say, you know, there was a link earlier on, I think yesterday, where they were talking about how should Manchester United play the next. I think there are 5 games. You know, when should they play the strong team? When should they play the weak team?
ESPN FC.
Yeah, well, from ESPN FC, and it's really a conundrum because if they play strong against Leicester, very likely they're gonna go weak against Liverpool. If they go weak against Leicester, it's gonna be a stronger team against Liverpool. You know, it's not gonna be both.
Lax, let's be realistic. You know the rivalry between you and Manchester United. They're gonna play the weakest team against Leicester, and they're gonna come guns blazing to play against Liverpool.
Which benefit them in both ways. One, the weaker team, if Leicester beat them, Liverpool basically out of the Champions League. And if they also beat Liverpool outside of the Champions League. So any which way, that to me is them being kingmakers. That's what I'm saying. It's the same conversation we had earlier about Barca. Will Barca sacrifice himself to stop Real Madrid from winning the league? Because if Barca had just taken a loss, Atleti would have been basically gone with the league. You know, they may still win it, but they would have almost guaranteed that Real didn't win it by them taking a loss because they were behind the 8 ball any which way. Manchester United is now in that similar position right now with the top 4.
Quick question. Go ahead, Pops. Stop. Remember me.
But Blacks, I remember about 2 weeks ago you on this show and you said Liverpool will make top 4. You can write it down. They will win all the remaining games and they will make top 4, Blacks. So what is the argument now?
You realize we have not lost a game since I've started saying that though. We have not lost a game since now.
But you drop points.
Yeah, points.
We have not lost a game. Maybe I just didn't get the message right. Maybe I didn't get the message right. Maybe it was like, you will not lose any game. You know? I'm not going to win all the game. I just probably didn't get the message right. That's all it is. But we have not lost the game.
All right, so we are talking about Man U, right? Man U have 4 games leave. City have 3. Me know say nothing say it's possible. But mathematically it is. Man U win their 4 games. They're on 82 points. City lose to, let's say, Brighton and Everton. Draw with Newcastle.
That's
81 points. 81 points, you know. I mean, yeah, we know it seems possible right now, but they have lost 2 games recently, right? Because they lost another game before the Chelsea game. I don't remember who. It wasn't exactly before, but they lost. Remember when we said if they lost, I don't remember who was it they were gonna play. Was it Leeds?
Leeds.
And we said if City lose a couple games, you know, the pressure they might start feeling the pressure. I mean, as a Man U fan, Blacks, you know, sit down and look at these things and try to do the maths and say, wonder if this could happen. Because like me say, we win the 4 games, them 82 points. They're at 80 right now. They have
zero pressure on City. City can put them 2 and still fall over the line. It's not gonna happen. If they don't put them 2, then go fall over the line.
Well, I see Brighton and Everton can beat them. It would be up to Newcastle. The next game is against Newcastle.
Both, like all those teams at the moment, have nothing playing for. Brighton safe.
Newcastle have nothing playing for.
And Everton also have nothing playing for.
No, Newcastle don't have anything playing for, but they're still go play and beat up teams.
You don't talk about because one Arsenal ball around there score a goal. Listen to me, there's nothing them playing for right now.
All right, Brighton, every day you see Brighton don't look like they don't have anything playing for. And Everton have something playing for. Can they still make Europa?
No, they can make the Europa Junior.
Yeah, man, they can still make Europe, yeah. They can.
Yeah, Everton can still make Europa League, so Everton have something playing for.
No, they can't make it.
If they end up dropping points against either Newcastle or Brighton, I mean, as a Man U fan, I mean, probably because we're too optimistic still, because we still think that Arsenal can make Champions League. No, just kidding. But yeah, I mean, as for me, Arsenal make not even Europe. Let's concentrate on the league alone next season.
All right.
Yeah, let's move on from the Devils. You know what I think that we talking about this top 4 race, and West Ham did mess up, but they still have a shot. They still have a very easy schedule. The next 3 games, if somebody drop, Liverpool need to beat Man U, for example, for us to keep our shot and have a shot. West Ham doesn't have any such team that they have to play.
Yeah, but it's an easy game for West Ham. I feel like we can't trust West Ham. That's the problem, right? We can't trust them.
With Jesse Lingard?
We can't trust West Ham as a team.
With Jesse Lingard. That man not show up for a win, man.
Exactly. Again, we just can't trust them. So that's the issue.
Brighton, West Brom, Southampton.
Jesse Lingard was just going through a phase.
Southampton, you say who? Brighton, West Ham?
And West Brom and Southampton, they have.
Yeah, Brighton and Southampton can get points off of them. It wouldn't be the most. That's the problem. So yeah, next subject.
All right, we just go over the results. Then. We don't need to discuss them game. Palace beat Sheffield 2-0. Wolves beat Brighton 2-1. I think the Leicester game is a interesting game because the fact that they might fight for Champions League, but Newcastle slapped them in them face.
Yes,
absolutely. And yes.
Do you think that Brendan is gonna be in trouble if they second year in a row they collapse they hit the last hurdle? Put it that way, not the collapse. They hit the last hurdle and fall down. Second year in a row. Do you think
get in trouble? They go sack him, then go fire him? No, they're not gonna fire him. It's not a good look at all. After but it'll be a terrible look. And it'll be a terrible look for him prospect on getting a bigger job. You understand what I mean? But in terms of if this say you have to look, do this mind trick, right? Say to yourself, before the season start, where did I envision Leicester finishing this season? Right? Did you have them as a top 4 team?
I mean that they may have had themselves. Based on last year.
But everybody think their wife like best looking wife ever. But where did you, as an objective individual, where did you think they was gonna finish, right? Where did you think they was gonna finish, right?
Well, I wrote down Liverpool finishing 5th, and that's where we're gonna finish.
Okay.
The man is talking about Leicester.
And then that's just a point make I say that in hindsight, like again, them in a good position, and again, it'll be a horrible look for them if throw this away, and again they still not cup final, and let's see how them handle that, right? But yeah, is it terrible for Brendan? Yes, but is he doing a terrible job with Leicester? Absolutely not.
No.
That's my opinion on it. And again, if he do, then him deserve to be ridiculed and criticized because it's not a good look. If you want to be in that higher echelon of coaches, you have to get this thing sewn up, get this top 4 sewn up. So
right.
get it done.
Well, they have a rough schedule though. Their schedule is not one that you want to have to close out a season like this. With all that's going on, they have Chelsea, Tottenham, and Man U for the last 3 games. That's not what you want to close it out.
All winnable games.
All winnable, but also very tough games that they can lose all 3.
Man U have a sell in the game.
Which I think will happen.
Quickly, Blacks. When it comes to Leicester and their how they finish this season, their accomplishments, you have to look at the injuries that they have had over the course of the season, especially somebody like Harvey Barnes. I mean, everybody know earlier in the season, me never like him because him take a Demari Gray spot. And me bias towards Jamaica. You know? So let's get that out there. But he has one even me over. He was like Salah, missing a lot of clear chances. But he continues to run at defenders, continue to find himself in the space.
Jiggy, mute the mic, Jiggy.
And he started scoring. You know, he started scoring. He was assisting a lot. And he was a big difference maker in their team. There wasn't even that much pressure on Vardy anymore. It was after he got injured, then they have to start chop and change. He went to the back three. All kind of changes he had to make just to facilitate losing Harvey Barnes and what Harvey Barnes brought. And remember, during the same time they lost Madison, Ndidi was out for a while. When Ndidi came back, they didn't have any center backs. He had to be playing center back for a while. So trust me, I cannot knock him for the job that he has done. What he has gone through with his squad this season. I think he's still, if he finished in the top 4, he has still done an exceptional job, if you ask me.
But Greg, the problem is it's losing to Newcastle. It's drawing with Southampton. You see, with all of that, you'll last 4-2 with Newcastle at a crunch time like this, and you'll draw with Southampton.
It's a fair point. Yeah.
You know? Those are the problems that you're gonna have to look at. And I say, I don't, as Shane say, yeah, has he been a good coach this year? Of course, he has been an excellent coach this year, and you can look at it and say that. But at the same time, you were in position, and with all of these injuries and all of the situation that came up, with 5 games to go, you had Southampton, Newcastle. Because we spoke about that, you know. So. And we said Leicester needed to win their next 2 games to keep themselves afloat because the last 3 games are going to be very hard compared to Chelsea and West Ham. Right? And Liverpool was out of it. It wasn't even seeing themselves back here in it. So, and they didn't win those 2 games. They lost 1 and draw 1. That's what they were thinking about.
Sir, as I pointed out, Leicester City only needs 6 points to secure their spot, which they will get in the next 2 games. Man U will play their kids, and Chelsea has already qualified. Chelsea will also play their kids because
if I'm only going to start, I don't think that it behooves me to just quote unquote play the kids, right? I think that you have to mix up the squad then, right? And again, Man United have a good enough squad to like incorporate some experience and some youth and get a good team out there.
Yeah, when I say kids,
I don't when you say kid, it's not gonna have
players who already play.
Is a kid, right? Or Nemanja Matic. I think that
Daniel James a kid.
Huh?
Mata.
No, I think calling Daniel James a kid.
When I say kids, I mean he's gonna play the players who already play. He's gonna play them.
You keep saying he sound like a good team actually. Man United have a good team. So none of this is gonna fall easily. And Man United again, they now get the kids out there. They go get they probably put in of the and play and then they probably can play Greenwood up front, but I don't know, man. I'm gonna rest. I mean, even if you rest Bruno Fernandes and Paul Pogba, they still have a very good team.
But honestly, everybody keeps saying that we're gonna put a kid. But as Shane said, if we switch it up, we still have a very strong team can go there and compete. We still have a Mata, Van der Beek. Maybe they did not get enough games, but at least they are still good. You should compete that can beat Leicester City.
You got Daniel James, you got Tellez who
exactly
came in and push
Tellez,
Williams.
Williams again. Buying can go there. So they still have a very good team can put out.
Yeah, Van der Sar. I mean,
he's gonna play regardless anyway, because I don't think I'm
gonna. Regardless of Man U play, them have a deep squad, and we shouldn't be going back to the Manchester United.
You don't want to talk about money again.
But Jiggy,
we spent 30
when you said Chelsea already qualified. Jiggy, I hear said Chelsea already qualify. The problem is, if Leicester beat Chelsea, then they jump Chelsea again. Chelsea hasn't qualified. Chelsea needs 6 points to qualify. They need to win 2 of the games that they have left.
Honey, I want to talk about Chelsea. Next subject.
Black.
I want to talk about Chelsea.
Hold on. No. We are saving Chelsea for last.
Okay, then. Fine.
Blacks, this the point I say, right? When him say Manchester United are gonna play the kids, don't necessarily mean kids, meaning not the best 11. You understand what I'm trying to say?
No, I know. I understand from that side, but I'm just talking about Chelsea. What I'm saying is that nobody can just take anything at all for granted. It's still gonna be some good, solid games, you know. And I believe it's a solid team, man. You're gonna put out there. I don't think that's gonna be, you know, their second team is very good.
Exactly. So it's not going to be easy for Leicester to beat that second team, quote unquote second team either. It's not easy for Leicester or anybody to beat that.
Anybody. And back and forth, it's the same thing. Leicester, Chelsea, all of these games are going to be some tough games. Tottenham going to have a role to play in this. Aston Villa, Arsenal have a role to play. Can you beat Chelsea, sir, in the London derby?
Of course.
Who is that? What's that?
Please do it. Can Liverpool would
That's the
appreciate
only
it.
game we win for the rest of the season.
Liverpool would appreciate it, sir. If you
One
can
beat
beat
Chelsea and lose the other 2 games. That's
yeah, man, beat them and Liverpool go to the Champions League.
Blacks, just give up my Blacks, man. Our fifth them are finished. Don't worry about it, man.
I'm being like David, sir. I'm being like David.
All right, we're moving on. We're moving on. Speaking of top 4, there was another blunder. West Ham choke. I don't know if it's a choke, but West Ham get them face slapping. Everton beat them. Everton has been inconsistent also. Thoughts?
You said Everton blunder. I don't think they blunder.
No.
West Ham. You said West Ham, but I beg to differ. I mean, Everton, even though they are a bit consistent, but Everton has a good team that can beat anybody in the top 4 same way.
Blacks.
And again,
not Blacks, Pops. If you want to be in the top 4, these are some of the things that you have to do.
But it's not blunder because remember, Everton also is playing to qualify for European League. So they still have something playing for.
Blacks, Pops, on the last live. On the last live, they asked which teams are better, and I think the consensus was Everton. If I wasn't mistaken. That's what we asked on the last live, right? So, on a blunder. Right, this time made West Ham, I think only had 1 shot and goal that entire. I watched that game. You know what I'm saying? It's time made the attack. There's nothing the great Jesse Lingard could have done. You know?
You on this game. Jesus, dude. Come on. Spare me.
Pops, you finish with the point, Pops, because the show must go on.
Yeah, with somebody else. Because as I say, to me, no blunder. Everton good can beat them. So there's no surprise there for me.
Shane, want to add to that? Make it. All right, good. Moving on. Nobody else?
Nah.
All right, good. Moving on. We're not going to discuss this.
I'm not a fan of talking about Everton. I'm fine.
Yeah. Me I cut Arsenal time short tonight because I want to talk about when Leeds beat up Tottenham. So Arsenal win them game 3-1, while Tottenham get them face kicking 3-1.
Where you want to go first? Arsenal.
Arsenal game. Me finish with Arsenal for the rest of the season.
All right, Arsenal. Real quick. Him playing Saka left back. Yesterday.
Didn't I say that?
I don't know. Which show did you say that on? Because I don't remember.
The last one, I said, why not put Saka back and let he played it before? That's what I said.
I wasn't on the show, sir, so I don't know. I wasn't aware. You're talking after the Europa League hangover. I wasn't in the mood to discuss nothing football. I made sure I was working. I needed something to consume my time. But anyways, even though it was against West Brom, with the
Yeah.
performance from Saka at left back. I mean, when Tierney is out, and I was saying this all along, why not try back what's his name? Cedric over there or play Saka? Yes, Saka give us a lot going forward when he's playing in the attacking third. But the next thing is when he's playing as left back, and then you have both Shaka and Partey in the midfield, they can always cover for him, still play him there and give him the freedom to run. You know, some of these games when we see Ceballos and boy, me embarrassed to give Jiggy the credit, but he called it with Ceballos from last year. You know? Yeah, he did call it, but Jesus Christ, even Pops could have done better in a midfield than Ceballos. You know?
Bro, if you're
I
here
mean,
to say
they're gonna chip me on it and look
Don't do that. Don't do that, Greg. Don't do that. Don't do
Pops,
that.
you're a goalkeeper. That's why I said you. I wasn't taking shots at you.
For your information, I also have trophies at my yard for leading goal scorer in the top league in Chilani. So
You
don't
hear
do
that,
that.
you are?
Don't do
Pops,
that.
Pops, participation trophy don't count, Pop. Participation trophy don't count.
Pops, anyway, but yeah, like me I say, with Saka, I mean, with Saka playing at left back, you wonder, like, and we said this earlier in the season, Arteta is like typical Spanish coach, stubborn. You know, them just stick to whatever they believe in. And trust me, because Pep now get pressure why you don't see it. But that is how most of these Spanish coaches are. Once they believe in one thing, then go stick to it. We see with the first part of the season where he just stuck with Willian and Pepe wasn't getting a playing time. I mean, people are bash Pepe. Pepe is probably a goal or assist away from 20 goal and assist for the season. Not bad for somebody who, for the first 3 months, barely played, isn't it? But I mean, not more really if you talk about Arsenal. It was a win. I mean, whether they win or lose, whether they win or lose, wouldn't have much to say on the game. Yes, I watch it because of Arsenal. Me go always find time to watch them. Whether them play championship or Hopewell Corner League down in Hanover, I go watch them.
That's what a fan does.
Not,
That's what a fan does. That's
yeah,
what a
but not
fan does.
but
But
nothing other than the fact that, like me say, them him could have tried Saka there and let Shaka play in the midfield. There was nothing else to write home. Oh, and William finally scored. That was
Willian,
beautiful.
well, Willian finally scoring. That's fine, but he might Arsenal. I mean, somebody pointed out that he might Arsenal leading assist. Give her this.
He got 3 assists in the first game. It might have been against West Brom. Either West Brom or Fulham.
Fulham.
He's
Yeah.
the leading assist giver for Arsenal.
Yeah, he got 3 assists in that game, and it convinced even me that yes, we found the William that Jose Mourinho had.
Me can make something slide, you know. So you're forward on the blog and tell the people them say Pepe is a couple goals away from 20. And him play Malde, Did Widen, Slavia. Man, get out of here with that rubbish, bro.
I mean, he played against it. He played the games that he got to play, right? You're acting like the coach give him the Chelsea game, them and the Man U game and the Liverpool game and the City game. He hardly played those games. And when he played them game, then come out for about 10 minutes.
He played
He
2 games
performs in the games that he plays.
He played 2 games against Rapid Wien. Where's Rapid Wien from? Where's that team from?
Austria, Rapid Vienna.
Oh,
Austria.
okay, all right.
Come on,
Well,
bro.
let me look up some more. Great stuff, Pepe. 80 million. You go, boy.
He performs when he plays. It's that simple.
All right.
See,
How much Premier League goal do you have?
I'm not sure.
5.
But how many Premier
6.
League games have you? Not even the games. How many minutes? Because sometimes we see the games that Mr. Giroud come on the other day for 2 minutes. It counts as a game he played. Sometimes we have to look at that. So look at the minutes he played or how many starts he got. When I start look at these numbers.
yeah, I mean, our Pepe's second season, I don't care. I mean, my second season, let's see what happens next season. I mean, we're going too much about Pepe. Let's see what happens next season when we have a next season to bet in. I mean, what the hell? Let's see. West Brom then get relegated. Let's just try if you look on their squad. Is there anybody who that take out in their squad if you add to your team? No,
Pereira,
No.
that's it.
Pereira.
Pereira, yeah, I forgot him.
I think then goalkeeper is very good. Johnston, I think that he's a good shot stopper. He can be a second goalkeeper for somebody. You know what I mean? In terms of this game, I didn't watch it. I think I watched the second half. And once West Brom scored, to be fair, there was a couple of hairy moments where Arsenal looked like so they would go concede the second, you know, and them managed to get the free kick and William curl it in. Very, very good effort out there. I mean, he still that have that in a locker in terms of dead ball. But I don't know what happened in that first half. I see what happened in that second half. West Brom was really pressuring Arsenal after they scored. Arsenal have a lot to work on this season. You know, if you figure out the midfield, because again, you buy Partey, but you're not really starting now because he's cooling on Partey. So again, these are big financial allocations you put out here for these players, and if them no surefire hit where they not start, that's an issue. If you not trust your captain, where you're just real, and they give him hundreds of thousands of pounds per week, but in your sure starting lineup, that's an issue. Arsenal have serious issues, and they need to figure it out. Next.
Yeah, well, in London, skip over to the neighbors, the Tottenhams up the rail.
That was a good performance out of Leeds. My God, that was a good game. But Leeds really,
I love
again,
every minute of it.
huh?
I love every minute of it.
Yeah. But Leeds, again, they have these performances that swashbuckling, right? Where them play the football in a way where the Tottenham coach didn't know what was coming at him, and he never know how to really cope with it. You understand? It kind of show the levels in organization and how you can apply yourself, you know, in terms of game planning. But yeah, again, Leeds was very good. Bamford get a goal, and in terms of Tottenham, in the Dele Alli game, I think he had an assist. He looked all right, but again, in terms of going forward, they're going to need to probably find a manager. I think that's it.
Well, they needed to look no further man across the field. Bielsa should be their manager, man. They need to go and try get Bielsa. That's a coach that could manage that team. A lot of talent in that team, you know.
Not gonna happen.
Well,
Daniel Levy don't like giving up the reins, and Bielsa is a coach who believes in having the reins, having full control of wherever he's at. So that's a marriage that's gonna end in a divorce.
Yes, it's like Bill Parcell. If I'm gonna cook the dinner, I want to buy the grocery also.
Well, again, it's fascinating because enough people want to say it's no way he stay at Leeds for that long. Bielsa, because he's a weird guy, right? So if you can get in a row with an individual, you are walk off a job in a midlife season, you don't care. Like he really hands on that way. Yeah, that's what I mean. So you see him like there crouching on the sideline and doing his own thing. He's a peculiar character. He is. You understand? So yeah, it will be interesting to see him coach a team like Spurs. And I always said more if he have like a top team with top talent, one can do, but he really need to have direct or complete autonomy outside team and the structure and the team itself for really make things happen. And if you don't, you'll just walk off a job.
Well,
Leeds at long time.
I did say it before. He's at a bigger club than Tottenham anyway, so I don't see why he would make that step.
Tottenham fans will get mad at you and curse you.
Leeds is a bigger club. In any respect, they're a bigger club.
Fuck.
Shane, he had a big squad at
Argentina.
Marseille. No, Marseille.
Marseille.
The Marseille squad was a very good squad.
And again, it's weird because he had that squad and he was playing lovely stuff until it's weird. He was playing lovely stuff. Then when they lead the league and around January, February time, then just start drop points and then and then that usually happens between teams too, where them start off the season pon fire and then towards the end of the season then kind of cool off. Because people always talk about how intense in coaching session or intense in tactical session is. So again, he's a peculiar character. But if they play football and you're a fan of his team, it's enjoyable because it's one of those roller coaster rides, isn't it? To watch what he can do.
But this year, looking at Leeds, they have made adjustments. The first
You're right.
half of the season, they were conceding goals like it's going out of style. And the second half, I think if you look at it, they probably concede only half the amount of goals they concede in the second half from what they did in the first half. So there were some, I'm not sure there was adjustment because they seem to simply play the same gung-ho. But I think the players adapted a bit more to the Premier League and less goals score against them because they just weren't conceding as much goals as they were in the first half.
First half of the season, Calvin Phillips for a while had injury problems. He is a very integral part of shielding that back four. He knows how to shield that back four.
Calvin Phillips is injured now.
He's injured again?
Yeah,
He didn't play the last couple of games. But I must say, Leeds have played some of the best football games. Calvin Phillips didn't play. I think he came on because he came on in the last part for the Polish guy they put in midfield. Calvin Phillips.
not some of the best football, Jiggy. The best football. They have played the best football this year.
Alioski.
Some of it.
Bujo, hold on. Can I respond to Travis? I say, how can you sign players like Pablo Mari?
Do it fast. We have 2 more games to go.
I say, how can you sign players like Pablo Mari? Is he serious? I mean, when fit and playing, Pablo Mari is our most composed centre back around there. I mean, Gabriel at the beginning of the season was our best looking defender, but once Pablo Mari got fit and started playing again, come on now. I which football Travis I watch? If he needs a David Luiz, would I agree with it? But Pablo Mari, come on.
David Luiz has been your best defender this year.
No.
Yes.
Made the most, cost us the most as a centre back. Remember that.
We're moving on.
Yes.
Still at London. Fulham relegated. Them didn't show to it.
Who from Fulham we can buy?
That's the only question.
Hopefully them sign Bobby Reed.
What about Michael Hector?
But who? Yeah, all right. Moving on.
Michael Hector.
We got a warm up for the Champions League final. Chelsea City. Blacks tired. Anyways.
Well, I think I the were in the glass and I'm not tired. City made 9 changes, I think, in that game to play Chelsea. I don't think that was City's best team, and
but that was a very good performance still from Chelsea. Go ahead.
And well, I wouldn't even agree, because in that game, if 2 things happen. If Aguero scored the penalty, which instead of trying to Panenka and does knock the ball down the side of the goal, that game is over, 2-0. If when Sterling was mugged in the box and they decide not to give a penalty, if that's gone in again, I think City win and everything is over. So Chelsea won, but I don't think Chelsea played that well to say, boy, they beat the City team, and I don't think that was City best team. So from those 2 perspectives, I don't expect this to be any prelude to the Champions League final.
Soji is Soji would I say yeah hater still, but anyways, Jiggy, what you have to say
Alright.
about that?
I know some persons are going to say that this is not the first time Chelsea beat City because they knocked them out of the FA Cup. And so, but I'm not surprised at the team that Pep's play against Chelsea because to me, I believe and I said it on this already. The only person that can stop Man City this year from winning the Champions League, and I said even before they play PSG, is Pep himself, unless Pep decide to go and overthink again for the final. But if he plays the basic team that has been playing and stick to the basis, I think Man City will win the Champions League. So I mean, it is good for Chelsea at this stage, but I'm not phased about it because I think City will beat Chelsea convincingly in the Champions League final. Yeah.
Listen, Chelsea started our name, Bobby Gilmore.
That'll be
I mean,
Billy Gilmore.
Chelsea. What his first name is?
That'll be Billy Gilmore. I wanted to talk about that kid too.
Yeah, so Chelsea did start there. They started Ziyech, Gilmore, and Pulisic. People who didn't start the last game. Chelsea didn't put out what the coach name I forgot his name considers to be his Tuchel, his best squad either. But I said this last week. I'm saying this. When you play a team, you want to beat a team regardless, right? So some people saying maybe they should put out a weaker squad. You don't want to tip your hand, but Tuchel has been playing the same type of football for many years, right? And I'm sure Pep is going to watch all those games. But they also won the game, back-to-back games against City. I think that there is going to be doubt into that game, especially if Chelsea can go out, defend strong the first half, and even get the first goal. We are human beings, and if you go upon someone, you beat them 2 games in a row, and you go upon them and you're strong defensively, doubt start creeping and start press. And then Chelsea can use that beautiful counter-attacking football with Havertz, with Werner, with Kante, who can also make the run forward, right? Even though he's playing a low block. That was my opinion of the whole thing. So I said Chelsea should go out to win the game. They won the game regardless of the mistakes Manchester City made, regardless of the penalty that they called. Just like when I said, oh, it's 10 man, but Chelsea won the game. Chelsea still won the game. That's my opinion. That Chelsea should go out and give City a hard time, even if City has the better squad.
The fat lady will sing at the final. The fat lady will sing at the final.
All right. Oh, go on, Greg. Go on.
I'm actually happy Chelsea won the game because they feel overconfident they're going to the final. I'm glad City not put out a stronger side. But unlike Jiggy, if you say, yeah, mentally, he got to play on their mind. City go forward with a point to prove, especially the players that didn't play. Yes, Chelsea didn't start all their best players either, but the City players that didn't play I see them as bigger difference makers than who did Chelsea bench? Mount or Havertz?
Yeah, Mount and Havertz didn't start for Chelsea.
Apart from Kante in Chelsea's midfield.
Captain America didn't start either.
No, Captain America
started. Never start either.
George who? Are you kidding me, man? Billy Gilmore over Jorginho. Let me tell you that.
I'm about to talk about that.
Well,
I rate that kid over
people are
Jorginho.
made to have feelings, Greg. It doesn't, people are made to have feelings. And every feeling you have, right,
No, it's not feelings. It's based on what I've seen them play. To me, Jorginho, if he don't have 10 seconds on the ball to do something, he's going to make a backward pass. He's not gonna. I feel a whole lot of time on the ball to pick out a forward pass. If not, he's gonna play it back to his centre backs or his goalkeeper. Billy Gilmore, on the other hand, is a player who will try to make something happen. So, I'm not even going to make a comparison. But Kante is definitely. You can definitely say yes, the Kante part. You know, but other than that, the forward players, them, the attacking players, I mean, to me, they're basically the same. You know, Pulisic and Mount are in the same level. Ziyech and Havertz. I mean, there's not much difference up there. So for me, it's just Kante. But the players for City that didn't play, Foden, Gundogan,
Mahrez,
KDB. I mean, come on, bro.
Fernandinho,
Which I called on the show before.
John Stones.
That don't be surprised to see him play. You know?
So basically, Raheem Sterling is firmly second team now, Jiggy.
Yes, right now he is. Not even Jiggy. I'm the biggest Raheem Sterling fan on here. Right now, he is firmly second team. And he might not even be the first or second sub off the bench right now. Based on the chances that based on the misses that he has had. You see, if he win take them chances they won't get in like games when play, he would have been knocking on Pep's door, pushing for at least more minutes coming off the bench. Those misses against Tottenham in the League Cup final, against Chelsea in both games. Come on, Jiggy. You have to be fair. There's no way he's gonna push forward.
I'm saying to you that based on what Pep is trying to do, is ball control. When you put on Sterling on the field, it is not a downgrade. We saw what he did against Chelsea. We see when the Chelsea first game. We see when he come on the field. Yes, he has had several poor misses. All right, but I'm saying to you that what the thing that Pep did this year, different from the 4 previous years at Manchester City, is that he would change up the team when he reached into the Champions League. This year, Iman said, "I'm going to put all of the midfield and every player. De Bruyne, they are fast 9, or Foden, they are fast 9, and they have better control now with Sterling." Now, if you ever said better player, I don't think so. Sterling is still who he is, but yeah, this year, than the 3 previous years, he has had some egregious miss, which he shouldn't have had. You know what I'm saying? But his quality is undeniable every time he goes on the pitch. I forgot which game was the game before the first Champions League match. The first Champions League semi-final game where he started. I forgot that game. I forgot the team he was playing against, but he was unbelievable. And he did have some crazy misses. I was like, come on, bro, that's ridiculous. You can't be missing that. But he did have a phenomenal game. But he missed. So I'm saying to you that I don't think there's a dip, but I'm saying based on what Pep is trying to do, he put the Bernardo Silva, the Foden, the De Bruyne up top, and my Fernandinez.
Mahrez is on a different level right now.
Huh?
Mahrez is on a different level right now.
Yeah, Mahrez is on Ballon d'Or level right now.
Mahrez is on a different level. Say it. It's fine. All right, next subject. It's fine. Again, we just want to talk about. I love the player. I think that he is. I think he's a gem, and it's funny because even if we think that he only get a game because it was a weekend squad, well, you watch him in that game and he didn't look out of place at all. Actually, he looked like one of the best midfielders them out there. It's a little man, well young, just take care of the ball so beautifully, can pass the ball, and he is right now. I rate him over Georgina. Again, it'll be interesting to see how he do in the next couple of games if he can get to start. Because that kid is a gem.
He made his name against Liverpool, I think. Was it last year before last? Where he came in and just boss up the midfield.
He can control the ball. He not going to give it away. He's really, really composed. Scottish Fabregas. Let's go.
Listen that.
That's a whole lot of weight on the kid's shoulder.
I know, but again, that's not because that's how we say him learn off, and that's who we idolize. I guess that's how I rate him so much. That's what it is. Right, but we think him really, very good.
Well, the only problem Chelsea have to me is that Chelsea, with all the good that they have done so far this year, and since Tuchel took over, they have done a lot of good. But It's also boom or bust because they are in 2 finals, which they can lose both. and they have 3 games that they have to play, 4 games that they have to play, that they actually can lose all 4. Arsenal is a City rivalry. That's the only reason why we give Arsenal a chance, because it's a London derby. Apart from that, I don't give them any chance. But
Sir,
it's a
is Chelsea in relegation zone?
Eh?
Is Chelsea in relegation zone?
No, they're not.
Are they in the Europa? Are they Malde or
Blacks, continue, please. Would you can you move, Jiggy, man?
Jiggy, mute yourself, man. Have a nice. But as I said, just running through what I'm saying. They are in 2 finals, one against Leicester, one against City. You can't easily see them lose both games. It's possible, you know. There's a strong possibility that they may not win any of them.
Disaster can hit, but as Tiger Woods once said, all you want to do is say that he's in the conversation.
Yes,
from where they was when Lampard was there.
And they're in the conversation. They haven't gotten anything over the line as yet, though, Shane.
Yeah, but they have to play a game, Blacks.
Yeah.
Them have a finger in a lot of pies.
And all of them could get burned and they don't get anything at all. As I said, they can lose the FA Cup final, they can lose the Champions League final, and in the league they still have to play Leicester, Aston Villa, Arsenal, and Tottenham. Is it Tottenham? It's Aston Villa, Leicester, and Arsenal. They have to play still in the league. They can lose games, and they can actually leave the season empty-handed with all the great things that you have said. It reminds me of a couple years ago when Liverpool won the Champions League. We had the most amazing season ever where we won City so close. But everything came down to the Champions League, because if we hadn't won the Champions League, it would have been a 0 season for us. With all the good things that we have done, we came second and had nothing at all to show for it. But we won the Champions League. Chelsea right now they have nothing at all.
Any Liverpool, any Chelsea fans, even if they not bring home nothing this year, they will be encouraged to go up next season. Because again, they put themselves in a good situation, and even if again they will get something, I think again they're in 3 different competitions, and they will at least get one. Even if they don't, they still go be encouraged by what they have seen from Lampard to Tuchel. It has been, you know,
it's been an upgrade.
So therefore, they have to be optimistic.
But top 4 not confirmed. FA Cup is a toss-up, and they are not the favorites for the Champions League. It can go so wrong for them at the end of the season. That's all I'm saying.
I hear you. Greg.
I mean, but can you imagine though them win the FA Cup, win the Champions League, and finish second or third?
Well, they don't have to. If they win the Champions League, they don't, no matter where they finish, because they'll be in the Champions League next year just by winning it.
No, I'm just saying, otherwise, finishing those.
You couldn't say nothing to him.
Jeez. Well, anyways, they have us on Wednesday, then FA Cup final against Leicester weekend, then Leicester in another few days in the league.
Mm-hmm.
You know, then Villa, then City. So gonna be fun games, you know. We might hear a lot from Wesley, or we might not hear Wesley any at all. We might think he's on a naval ship somewhere in the Pacific.
His cholesterol will be up and down. His cholesterol will be up and down again.
Like, oh, never mind. We are not live. All right, Bojo, that's it for me. None else.
No. We'll leave it for tomorrow, because we already crushed odds.
It's
the Sky Sport 11 where Jamie Carragher got 11 versus
Gary Neville.
One of the Neville. Yeah.
Gary.
We'll talk about that tomorrow, and the team, the Jamaica team supposed to announce for the 2 upcoming friendly tomorrow. So can chat
tomorrow go announce? Okay. Because
Yeah.
more touch a point tomorrow to Bojo. Because Mr. Gizzy asked a question about Kyle Walker Peters or James Justin. And Gizzy seemed
Actually, I asked.
confident that Kyle Walker Peters is a better player, but I don't know which TV I watch. But we
I asked
can
the question.
address that tomorrow too.
Yeah. Let me see. I think no footballer play Champions League break. I think that's
Premier
it.
League game I play every day this week. What are you talking about?
Every day until about the 19th. There's a Premier League
Oh.
every day until the 19th.
Would you update
Hold on.
update your app, man?
Every day until the 19th there's a Premier League game playing.
Before we
I think
leave,
it's
which game I
20
play
before
tomorrow?
the game.
Tomorrow? Tomorrow, man, you play? Leicester?
Yeah.
Yeah, and Southampton and Crystal Palace also.
Man, you Leicester. Come
Yeah,
on.
man,
Just
man
keep
you
it
play
simple.
Leicester, Southampton, and Palace.
Oh, Shane. Buju, I know you're ready for wrap up. But before you go, West broke the triple-double record. Brody.
Bro, I think we're sleeping on Russell Westbrook's greatness.
There's a lot of hate towards him.
A lot of people sleeping on it.
I think we're sleeping on his greatness, bro. He's a competitor, he's a great player, and I think that
if he getting a playing game and getting a playoffs again,
But Beal
nobody
is out.
wants him.
Beal is out, or probably it's just a few games.
I didn't see that.
Out at least 2 games.
well, he came back. The playing game start on the 18th. But this is what I'm saying. The coaches have to set him up for greatness. He needs bigger wingers who can defend, bro. He's not the greatest defender, but he is a competitor. You have to set him up like Iverson.
That means he needs to be in Miami.
There's 2 things I would like to say about Russell Westbrook. One, he has never had a great coach.
Never.
The coaches that he have had are crap. He has never had a great coach.
Oklahoma.
He has never had a great coach. And the second thing is, people talk about him, say his stats, it's padding stats. He has won 75% of the games that he have had a triple-double in his career. If that is stat padding, I think they should make him keep padding those stats. Because if you're going to win 75% of the game that you have a triple-double, you should continue to have a triple-double every game. You know? So, yeah, Jiggy, you're right. There are people have been sleeping on him, and he won't be appreciated until he's finished playing.
Yeah, he won't be appreciated. People are going to look back when they have a history in the NBA and be like, you know what, this guy was great, and we never love him like we love Iverson. But at the same type of effort, Kobe, him, and all these guys give every single night.
Because it's funny because growing up, you know what I mean, watching the NBA, everybody always rev about Oscar Robertson, right? And first of all, it was nobody would ever average a triple-double a season, for a whole season, and it was Oscar Robertson who was the only person that ever did it. You know what I mean? And we don't know what the concept of it was. You know what I mean? But it was like the holy grail. You can see why they didn't know everybody just to say, yeah. As I said, just start padding. It's really shows that people pick and choose what they want to prop up. You know what I mean? The way of the man, they compete night in, night out. It's something to be on, especially in this NBA, where we have a whole heap of,
Not only that, especially with the injury he came back from. Because we have seen a lot of players come back from injuries and not look the same. Paul George, Derrick Rose. I mean, a lot of great players come back from injuries.
Look good right now. Don't call Derrick Rose, him a Jiggy here.
Bojo, that's split off a piece of Bojo. That's splicey. I'll put NBA talk.
Bro, no, it'll take too long, my youth. Yo, make we talk about basketball the next day. Look for when me tell you this.
All right.
One more basketball point before we go. I think all I know they counter the Celtics. We finally go jump on that wagon now because Jalen Brown is out for the season. So
Yeah, that's a count them out.
I think it's curtains for the Celtics.
Yeah, they were dead before this.
Even before that, I said that first round,
But
Miami
at
first
least-
round, Celtics first round.
At least they still had a chance. Miami what?
Miami first round, Celtics first round. I said it already. Out. Bye bye.
Well, if they face the Bucks, it might be first round for us. But I hope so we don't get the Bucks.
Yo.
No, I knew that.
Yo, all right, Bojo. We now say no more. After the season, Bojo, before playoffs, we need to talk about NBA. We need to talk about NBA.
All right,
I'm
Bojo.
telling the mic, Shane.
Yeah, just
I'll go for alarm and go off.
Anyway, that's the show, guys. Great show. Even though them try to bring up basketball at the end, but anyways, we can discuss basketball another day. Big up all I man. Everybody else. Respect. You know,
Bojo. The lady from earlier about a breaking a Greg house.
And I might want to.
if you're new here, please subscribe to the channel, share the live, like the Instagram page, as you can see the message at the lower part of the screen. It's your boy Bujo Skeng, and we're out.
Respect.